for the fans. The glory for the pinstripes.
Stop everything. I just got intel that isn't on the mainstream sports channels. Brian Cashman has a master plan, and 2 all-star players are at the center of it all. You want to know who they are in the real odds? Subscribe to the channel, because this is one of those season-defining updates. What's up, Yankee Nation? Welcome back to the channel, your one-stop shop for everything about our New York Yankees. This is one of your own speaking, straight from the heart of the Bronx, bringing you the hottest intel and the sharpest analysis you won't find anywhere else. Today, I've got a bombshell to drop. Information that's been swirling behind the scenes, and I got the details for you. The MLB trade deadline is approaching fast, and the Yankees name is echoing through the halls in St. Louis. Yeah, you heard that right. We're looking at not 1 but 2 big-time players from the Cardinals, and the talks are heating up. Brian Cashman, our general manager, is in full-on hunt mode, and he's got his sights set on fixing 2 of our biggest headaches this season: third base and the closest spot in the bullpen. Let's get right to it, because the first piece of news is a real jaw-dropper. The name at the top of our wish list, according to red-hot sources at ESPN, is none other than Nolan Arenado. That's right, the elite-fielding, multiple-time all-star third baseman. Journalists Kylie McDaniel and Jeff Passan, guys who know their stuff, ranked the top 50 trade candidates. And guess what? The Yankees were named the best fit for Arenado, with a 30% chance that the Cardinals would actually be willing to trade him. Now, I know what you're thinking, 30% ain't a lock, but in the world of MLB trades, that's a huge tell. It means the doors ain't just open, they're practically blown off the hinges for a potential deal. Arenado, who was ranked 21st on that list, represents the solution to a problem that's been haunting us. The hot corner has been a black hole in our lineup. We've seen a revolving door of players over there, and let's be real, nobody's stuck. The production has been spotty, and for a team with our championship aspirations, that's just not gonna cut it. Arenado, even if he's not at his offensive peak, would still be a monumental upgrade. He's slashing .251 with an on-base percentage of .313 and a slugging of .405 this season. It might not be the MVP numbers he's put up before, but let's look at the whole picture. He's still a well above average defender, a true wizard at the hot corner, which alone would be a massive relief for our defense. His strikeout rate is near a career best, which shows he's still got great bat control. The raw power might be down a tick, but he's still a solid starter, a veteran with a championship presence in the clubhouse. And let's be honest, putting a guy with Arenado's pedigree, a 10-time Gold Glover, in our infield would change the team's dynamic instantly. The complication, of course, is his contract and the full no-trade clause. He'd have to waive that to come to New York, and the team that gets him will have to pay him like a superstar. But that's where the Cashman magic comes in. To win, you gotta make bold moves, and bringing in Arenado would be the strongest possible statement that we're all in for the World Series ring this year. Think about the lineup protection he'd offer guys like Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. It would be absolutely devastating for our opponents. And as if the thought of getting Arenado wasn't enough to get any Yankees fan hyped, we've got a second target in our sights. And he plays in an area where the need is just as critical: the bullpen. I'm talking about right-handed pitcher Ryan Helsley. Our bullpen, which is supposed to be one of our strengths, has been giving us heartburn this season. The closer role has been a roller coaster. Luke Weaver just recently got back from injury, but is still finding his groove. And Devin Williams, who we had high hopes for, hasn't been able to perform at the elite level we need to lock down games. How many times have we been holding our breath in the 9th inning? It's a situation that needs to be fixed, like yesterday, if we're serious about October. Helsley, who was ranked 23rd on ESPN's trade candidate list, emerges as a viable and powerful solution. He's also got about a 30% chance of being dealt by St. Louis, which again is a very positive sign for us. Helsley is pitching to a 3.67 ERA this season in 27 innings over 27 games. Just looking at the ERA, some might turn up their noses, but we need to dig deeper. McDaniel and Passan pointed out that while he's not repeating last year's lights out season, where he had the 4th best WAR among relievers, his stuff, the quality and movement of his pitches, is still there. The main issue has been his fastball getting hit hard. leading to more homers. However, this is where I see a golden opportunity. Our pitching coach, Matt Blake, is a certified genius. He has a proven track record of making small tweaks to pitchers and getting the absolute best out of them. Remember what he did with Clay Holmes and other guys who came here written off and became dominant forces in our pen. I have full confidence that Blake could work with Helsley, adjust his location or pitch selection, and turn him back into the shutdown closer he was. Adding an arm like Helsley, with his ability to touch triple digits and rack up strikeouts, would give our bullpen the depth and security we desperately need in the back end of games. He'd be the piece that stabilizes the ninth inning and allows other relievers to be used in roles that better suit their skills, strengthening the entire unit. The championship window is wide open, and moves like these could be the push we need to go right through it. Let's dig a little deeper into this analysis, Yankee Nation, because the devil is in the details. When we talk about Nolan Arenado, we're not just talking about stats on a page. We're talking about a winner's mentality, a player who makes everyone around him better. His presence at Yankee Stadium, wearing our glorious pinstripes, would be electric. Imagine our infield defense with DJ LeMahieu, assuming he finds his form, or Oswald Peraza developing next to a stud like Arenado at third and our superstar Anthony Volpe at short. That would be a defensive wall, giving our pitchers extra confidence to attack the strike zone. And offensively, even with his home run numbers down, he's still a run producer. At Yankee Stadium, with that short right field porch, who's to say some of those doubles don't turn into homers? The adjustment to the New York spotlight is always a thing, but Arenado is a born competitor, a player forged in pressure. I believe he'd thrive under the bright lights of the Bronx. The big hurdle, as mentioned, is his no-trade clause and the money involved. He's signed through 2027. But think about it. The Cardinals are at a crossroads, looking more like sellers than buyers. They might be willing to eat some of that salary to get quality prospects in return, and we know the Yankees farm system, run by Cashman, has valuable pieces that could interest them. Would it be a sacrifice of young talent? You bet. But to bring in a player of Arenado's caliber and maximize our title window with Judge and Garrett Cole, it's a calculated risk worth taking. We can't just sit around and hope the solution at third base magically appears from within the organization. Sometimes you have to get aggressive and go get a sure thing on the market. Now, let's get back to the bullpen and Ryan Helsley. The state of our relievers is a major red flag that can't be ignored. A championship team is built on a rock-solid bullpen, and ours has been showing some serious cracks. The inconsistency at closer has created a domino effect, forcing other pitchers out of their comfort zones and at times causing them to fail in big spots. Helsley, even with an ERA in the mid-threes this year, has the elite tools you just can't find on the street corner. His fastball explodes out of his hand, and when he's commanding it, his slider is just nasty. The home run problem is real, but like I said, it's fixable with mechanical and strategic adjustments. A change of scenery, a new team, and the motivation of playing for a contender could reignite the fire in the Helsley, who was one of the best relievers in the game. On top of that, he's in a contract year, which means the cost to acquire him in terms of prospects would be considerably lower than for a player with multiple years of control. It would be a high-impact rental for the stretch run and the postseason. We could get him for our title push without mortgaging the long-term future of the organization in a major way. That's a smart play, a classic Brian Cashman move. Identify a temporarily undervalued talent and capitalize. Having Helsley to close games would let us use Weaver, Williams, and other arms like Ian Hamilton and Jonathan Loaisiga in setup roles, creating a nearly unhittable bridge from the 7th to the 9th inning. It'd be the formula for success we've seen work so many times in the past with guys like Mariano Rivera, Dellin Betances, and Aroldis Chapman. The bottom line is clear. The Yankees are in a prime position to strike at the trade deadline. And these two names from the Cardinals, Nolan Arenado and Ryan Helsley, fit our most pressing needs like a glove. Bringing in Arenado would be the blockbuster move, the piece that solidifies our infield and adds another feared bat to the lineup. Acquiring Helsley would be the fine-tuning, the surgical fix that turns our bullpen from a worry into a weapon. These moves show that the front office isn't just satisfied with competing, they want to dominate. They know we have a special core of players right now, and this is the time to go all in. Now, I want to hear from you, Yankee Nation. What do you think about these potential trades? Would you trade some of our top prospects for Nolan Arenado, even with that big contract? And Ryan Helsley, do you believe Matt Blake can fix him and make him our World Series closer? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know what the heart of our fan base is thinking. If you want to stay ahead of the news with in-depth analysis and exclusive intel on our New York Yankees, don't waste any time. Subscribe to the channel right now, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and join our community. Around here, we live and breathe Yankees 24/7. Let's go on this ride to championship number 28 together.